And there's another possible guy as well, too. Remember here, she's triple playing. Let's look at it for what it really is. She's tricking. She's sleeping with this guy, sleeping with me, sleeping with somebody else. If she was happy, then there would be no need for me to be
There is
here.
a need. My baby need her father, not a maybe, a father.
Destiny Rice alleges that her boyfriend, Michael Debaca, is denying paternity of her unborn child and is also a cheater who posted several ads looking for girlfriends online. She adds that Debaca owes her $750 for plane tickets and a loan. Meanwhile, Debaca accuses Rice of cheating on him. What's the story surrounding their relationship?
It began about a year and a half ago. I responded to an ad on the internet. He was looking for friends. I went over to his house and we started hanging out and we stayed up for a while, and then he started asking me to have sex with him.
That's not a lie.
Why
would you ask
me to have sex with him, and
please.
he kept asking me and asking me and asking me, and I told him, no, I do not sleep with guys on the first night, and I said that way more than once.
Okay. You can already predict that these two will take us on a ride. Well, of course, there's more. Take a look at this.
She invited me over to her house to just hang out for a night. I went over to her house for a night, and I just happened to stay because we just happened to keep having sex. It was just like, it was more of a friendship with like benefits. It wasn't, we were in a relationship, we weren't claiming each other as boyfriend or girlfriend.
We were going to be in a relationship.
The guy she was living with.
Hold on, let me understand this.
The guy she was living with was married.
At this point, I shouldn't even be expecting to see normal cases, because that's a rare case in paternity court. Most of the people who come here are straight up cuckoos, but let's keep watching. Debaca and Rice argue about whether or not they were in a relationship. Rice says they were, but Debaca doesn't agree.
Yeah, it was on
Well,
Facebook. It was on the internet.
Okay, so if we were in a relationship, which you say we were in a relationship, right? When I was at work, she has dudes texting her asking them to come over when I'm at work with her boss. So like, how is that a relationship? How's that a relationship?
Can't a girl be friends with guys?
Asking them to come over and asking them to cuddle?
I didn't ask any guy to cuddle.
Asking them to cuddle?
I didn't ask anybody to come cuddle with me.
But Debaca wasn't done yet. Judge Lauren asks why he doubts that Rice's baby is his, and he has much to say. Here, take a look.
When I was over there, I was looking through her phone, and she had a picture of someone dudes in her phone. Wasn't my, I have tattoos on my plight.
How many times do you need to say? Okay, so you saw, that's one doubt. You saw the picture.
Yeah, that.
And what else?
All right, so we had a little party at our house one time, and I was passing out in the living room.
Sheila Debaca is on a row, and he has more things to say about where his doubts stem from.
Because she had massage clients, she's a massage therapist. She was gonna do a massage for a family friend is what she called him. She said, yeah, come to my house. He asked who was all gonna be over there. She said, me, her boyfriend, and he was just like, oh no, never mind, never mind.
Up stories. I don't even know what he's talking about. I've never done massage inside my house.
Yeah.
You say this happens over and over again when she says she's pregnant after you break up.
But what happens after Debaca denies being responsible for her pregnancy? According to Rice, Debaca tells her that he wouldn't be paying child support and neither would he be doing a paternity test. But Debaca denies this last statement.
So let's fast forward. She's pregnant. You all are living together.
She wanted somebody to be there. That's what she kept complaining about, so I went and I was gonna be there for her.
I don't think I complained.
During her
You offered
pregnancy.
to come out there.
She calls and says she's pregnant. So at some point you broke up again.
Yeah.
Yes, preach. Debaca tried to respond to what Rice said, but he could only let out a stutter. With the way he was stuttering, you wouldn't believe this was the same man who was yapping away about his 1,000,001 doubts.
First of all, yeah, I posted.
Whoa.
No, I posted the ad. No,
Are
I
we
posted the ad
stuttering?
and said no. I posted the ad and said that like it was for girls to be friends and stuff. But that's the only reason why I did it was for revenge of her.
All right, we're going to get to the DNA results in just a moment. First, I want to deal with the arbitration. Ms. Rice, you say the defendant owes you $750 for unused airline tickets and unpaid loans.
But that's not all. Rice claims that Debaca never got on the plane the first time. After speaking to him about it, she paid an extra $50 to move the flight to another day. But did Debaca get on the plane? You're about to find out.
So I paid $50 to change the flight for another day. Same thing.
I never told her I
Didn't
wanted
get
to
on.
go back.
So I changed the flight for another day. This time he promised me that he would get on this airplane and come.
Nope.
And last minute, I had a ride set up to the airport. I had already paid gas money. I had concert tickets for us to go to a concert.
Okay, so minus the $750 she sued for, there is a sum of $500. What is the remaining money for?
I'd send him $100 here here, $60 there.
He call you and
$20
say
here.
what?
Can you send me money? Can you wire me money through Walmart?
No.
Can you send
No.
me money? I need money. I need to eat. I want chocolate. I want juice. I want this. I want that.
What? Ms. Rice.
Because of what she says,
He told
though.
me
So you just
that
gonna
if I were
Surely.
to send him money, that he would come see me.
That's sad. You give someone your all, thinking they love you, whereas they don't. Debaca denies that Rice sent him money, but the judge wasn't too convinced. A slight misstep, and the truth was revealed.
She never even sent you any money.
$20 was one time.
All right, now that's what I needed to hear. Because something was telling me you were lying, and I said to
So I
myself,
could-
well,
No, wait.
maybe this girl is just crazy enough to think she sent some money.
But anyway, it's time to move on. Let's find out what the DNA results say.
Mr. Debaca, it has been determined that you are the father.
What did I tell you? What do you have to say?
Nothing to say now.
I'll take responsibility and take care of my child. I
And
just
that's
wanted to be sure.
exactly what I want you to do.
Can I
I
apologize to her?
don't. You absolutely can.
I'm sorry, Destiny. I really am.
Here's another on and off relationship that has suffered from mistrust. Wright claims the defendant, Cain, who is his supposed baby mama, is known for telling lies, which has prompted him to doubt the paternity of 1-year-old Ariana. What exactly is going on in this relationship?
When we first started talking to each other, I was always hanging out with my ex, and
Were you still sleeping with your ex at the time?
No.
So you weren't sleeping with your ex, it was really your ex?
Yes.
That's not what he said.
What, Mr. Wright?
I said, that's not what he says.
So, Mr. Wright, you tell me. I want to know why there's so much mistrust.
Okay, I see Cain wanted the tow truck man to help her tow more than her car. So these two started dating, and Cain got pregnant. Now, this next revelation will have you shocked.
Well, before that, I mean, we started dating, then her ex-boyfriend's always sleeping in her bed with her.
What?
No, it wasn't like that. He came over to my house because when he helped me move in, he needed somewhere to stay. My friend was sleeping on the couch, and I said, whatever, you could sleep in here. I gave him his blanket. We had
What about
separate
the
beds.
floor? Now, you know you're in court, Miss Cain.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Cain denies being on a double date. She claims her friend requested that she come with her to see a guy the friend was interested in, and that she bumped into her ex at the location. However, Wright doesn't believe what she says. At this point, Judge Lauren realized why the pair had so much mistrust.
All right,
knew that,
let's
but-
talk about this. Let's talk about this for a minute, because you say the relationship is just riddled with mistrust, and I can see why. I mean, this is just
And
so.
so-
Meanwhile, Mr. Wright, what's your ex doing all this time? Because you living in the house with her, right?
My exes, I guess, stay at the crib, take care of her kid.
This case falls on the list of one of the messiest situations because what? Now, somewhere in between all this messiness, Cain gets pregnant. What happens then?
And when she tells you, are you happy? Do you believe it's yours?
I
or
was
you?
happy, but I still had that, with everything she's doing. I mean, she went over to her baby daddy's house. She has 2 other kids, went over to his house. Was over there for 3 hours when she knew
was
that
like an
dinner was
hour and a
almost done.
half.
Then ignored my phone calls, my text messages. Then finally she
My
she
kids
shows
had
up.
my
She finally calls me.
Chile. The testimonies keep getting worse. Due to Cain's lies and inconsistencies, Wright doesn't believe her baby is his when she tells him. He couldn't say 100% that she wasn't lying about that too. To make matters worse, Wright claims that Cain had told him twice that little Ariana wasn't his, which Cain affirmed. Now that's one story I'd like to hear.
Hold
She
on,
wasn't
because she
mine.
just validated your assertion. So, Miss Cain, that's true.
Yes,
You
I did
told
tell
him
him.
while you were pregnant that
Yes.
this baby is not his.
Right.
I mean, just a couple months ago, she told me. We got into an argument, and I was like, I'm going down and filing for full custody. I'm going to file for paternity test, and I'm filing for full custody. She was like, you might want to go file because she probably ain't yours anyway.
Oh, that's when she said it.
So she gave him a taste of his own medicine, but you guys have yet to hear the worst testimony. Wait till you see this.
In your mind, there's absolutely no other possibility.
Correct.
This other guy, her friend, me, her, and her friend had a threesome. So what is this? What is this?
Wait.
So what is this? She goes over to her friend's house to hang out with her friend and her friend's boyfriend. They're drinking. Her friend somehow gets her shirt off, her bra off, her pants halfway down.
No, it was not
all
around
this.
no.
That is one question even I desperately want to know, dying to see I know the answer to. What's worse is that poor Ariana is stuck in this mess and does not know who her daddy is. However, Wright has been present in her life all this while.
Were you participating participating, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I've been there since day one. I was there when she was born.
At the
I'm the
hospital.
person that supports her.
At the hospital?
Yeah, at the hospital.
So you're at the hospital. Did you sign the birth certificate?
No, actually, I got it right here. I didn't sign the birth
Jerome, let
certificate
me
because
see that.
I told her before she even went into labor, I told her, I'm not signing the birth certificate because I have a doubt.
Meanwhile, Wright's doubts increase when he hears Cain's family talk about how Ariana looks like her two other kids, whom she had for another guy. So it's like he's not even being considered the father at all. On the other hand, Cain admits to being involved with other men, but not sexually intimate with them.
Miss Cain, you are admitting to having contact, look, not sex, but a continual contact relationship with these various men where you are going out with them, having drinks with them, eating with them, not double dating, but just meeting
Sleeping
a
in bed with
girl
them.
and a guy, sleeping in the bed. I mean, I understand why he could have doubt. Do you?
Yes, I do understand.
That's right, Your Honor. We've all had enough of these two, and the only thing that can end all this is the DNA result. Let's find out what it entails, shall we?
Mr. Wright, you are Ariana's father. I see the tears and I'm glad you're relieved. You know now. How do you feel, Miss Cain? Relieved?
Yes.
Now see, finally, in this moment, the truth has been a catalyst for you to just taking your walls down for a moment.
This case will have you raising eyebrows at so many things. First, we have a pastor and bishop who got sexually intimate with a woman he's 28 years older than. Also, the woman in question, Miss Webster, attests that during the period of her child's conception, she was sexually involved with the bishop, Mr. House, and two other men. Moreover, one of the men, Jones, is 9 years older than Webster and is at the court for this case.
Mr. House, first explain to the court, how did this all start between you and Ms. Webster?
It started with me leaving an assignment that I had in Jacksonville, moving to Buffalo, New York, take on a new assignment.
After hearing House's testimony, the judge asks Webster to tell her side. Let's see what she has to say.
It was supposed to have been like a Bible study thing, but instead of that, it was like more, it led on to sexual.
Church, I met her at a fast food joint and we exchanged the numbers.
That's wrong, Your Honor. We met at church.
Looked at each other and quickly she became a hoochie and that's what it was all about.
Excuse me,
This confirms Webster's statement that she was also involved with two other people, one of whom is Miles Jones. What was Webster's relationship with Jones like?
Yes, he was a boyfriend. We knew each other for 5 years, but it was an on and off relationship.
I knew nothing about that, Your Honor, at all whatsoever.
And so you knew Mr. Miles Jones before you ever met Mr. House?
Yes.
Okay. And so admittedly, you were having sex with both of these gentlemen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Jerome, I think it's time that we meet Mr. Miles Jones.
Right. According to Jones's testimony, he and Webster started a casual sexual relationship. However, at some point, both parties wanted more than that and started dating officially. But here's the twist. Jones claims that he never knew Webster was intimate with someone other than him.
But at some point, she started sleeping with Mr. House. Did you know that? You knew?
No, I had no idea.
But there's some differences, Your Honor, when I think she was with me and when she's with him. I think she's with me for money.
Well, how do you think that when you never even gave me a penny?
Because things could be, the things that I could do.
That's right. Moving on, Webster explains what happens when she finds out she is pregnant with $1 million. Let's see what she has to say.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was trying to contact Mr. House. His phone was disconnected. First, I never knew he left town, which he denied her to the Phyllis. He denied her. He wanted a DNA test. He didn't want nothing to do with my baby.
That's not true.
And for his money to be on full when I asked him for diapers and everything, where was that?
But Webster doesn't agree that she kept House in the dark about her baby. She claims that she informed House that she was having a baby. Where was Jones in all of this? Well, let's find out.
I came over on a regular hookup to go meet up with her. We was gonna go out, do what we normally do. And then she said to me, I'm pregnant. I said, really? I said, how long? She was like, I'm about 5 to 6 months. I said, so you trying to tell me that it's mine?
So when you told him, I'm pregnant, did you then tell him, and you're the father?
So who's lying and who's not? Webster claims she told him he was a possibility, but Jones still wanted to sign the certificate. Since the birth certificate is now a major contention, Judge Lauren asks to see it.
Let me look at this birth certificate.
Hold on.
I haven't even seen the birth certificate, but I did sign some papers at Amelian's birth.
Yes, and I told you that your name wasn't going on there because it was a possibility that you was not my baby father.
But I've been
Father.
there since day one.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing listed under the name of father.
Thank you.
But you made her last name Miles Jones.
Okay, Webster affirms Jones' words about being there for her and baby Emilian. She even gets a little teary-eyed afterwards. But it looks like Mr. Bishop is a little jealous of their moment. So he spirals into many unnecessary accusations about things we already know.
Since you're triple playing, and there's another possible guy as well too. Remember here, she's triple playing. Let's look at it for what it really is. She's tricking. She's sleeping with this guy, sleeping with me, sleeping with somebody else. If she was happy, then there would be no need for me to be
There is
here.
a need. My baby need her father, not a maybe, a father.
It looks like Webster understands her mistakes and is ready to correct them. What better way to start than discovering who Emilian's biological father is? The judge asks both men to tell the court if they want Emilian to be theirs. While Jones says he does, Bishop had something deeper to provide as his response.
Mr. Miles Jones, you are not her father. Mr. House, it has been determined by this court that you are not her father. Miss Webster, do you know who your child's father is?
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend.
White does not doubt Flowers is her 4-month-old son, Major's biological father. She says this with so much certainty, even though she admitted to being sexually involved with the neighborhood ice cream man during the window of conception. But that's not all. White also claims that Flowers owes her $1,346.54 for childcare expenses.
Well, because basically I bought diapers, stroller, crib, detergent, toys. I bought everything for my son that he needs as an infant. He hasn't bought anything. The things he did buy, he took back to the store.
What do you mean?
He bought him 2 outfits and he returned them pretty much.
Mr. Flowers, you took the outfits back?
Yes, ma'am. He couldn't fit them.
Wow. Now White believes that Flowers is her baby daddy. But why is that?
Me and Mr. Flowers, that's all we did was have sex. You know, that was our relationship, was based on sex, unprotected sex at that. So.
And you were having sex with Mr. Flowers during the window of conception.
Yes.
And you weren't using protection.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Flowers, you say you have doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Since the pair were practically in an open relationship, Flowers doubted that little Major was his. Hence, he never acknowledged White's text about her pregnancy, and also didn't attend any of the doctor's appointments. The pair didn't have any relations till after Major was born.
He came around like in February. I let him come back because I wanted him to see his son.
So the baby was born?
Right.
So the bottom line is when you came back and you saw the baby, did you believe Major was your child?
Yes and no, for the simple fact I done seen it to where cat like, all right, that's my baby.
Yeah, he seen.
And
When
then
he seen
3-4
them
years
text
later,
messages.
you go have a test done.
So Flowers had doubts about Major being his, but his doubts only intensified after he saw the texts on White's phone. Flowers believed that the other guy might be Major's father and not him. Who exactly is this other dude? Well, you'll find out shortly.
Mr. Miles, thank you for joining us today. Ms. White has admitted that she had a sexual encounter with you, and Mr. Flowers believes you are the baby's father. Were you, in fact, in a sexual relationship with Ms. White?
Yes.
Was it ongoing? Was this just a one-night thing?
Actually, we only did it like 4 times.
Right. White explains more about her relationship with Miles, the ice cream truck dude. Here's what she has to say.
When you say entertainment, what do you, I mean, it's not like it's a movie.
No, because William not around, you know, he had stuff for me to do. We was on the ice cream truck, you know, we kicking it, you know, we go to the house, party, do whatever, and, you know, he was somebody to have fun with.
Telling Mr. Flowers he's the father, he's the father. Did you ever tell Mr. Miles he was the father too?
While Miles explains that Major doesn't have any of the features his other 8 kids have, Flowers butt in. Within a second, both men get into a round of argument about who the baby looks like in the courtroom, embarrassing their grown-ass selves.
Do you see that baby in me? Bro, that is not my baby.
That's your baby.
That's not my baby. Look at that baby. He has no features,
And
no
so
nothing.
at the point you saw him and you didn't see your features, then what did you tell Miss White?
I didn't tell her at the time. I just said in my head like, wow, this is not my child. You know what I mean?
Have you done anything for the child after you met the child? Did you
All
try
I
to
did-
help?
It looks like Miles is completely sure of what he says. While White was asking Miles for baby diapers, she was busy with Flowers too, demanding all sorts. Not my words, it's Flowers. He even brought out evidence to support his claim.
You've handed me evidence. These are text messages
Yes, ma'am.
from Ms. White to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first one says, LOL, you just don't don't know. My child got so many men willing to do your part. The next text says, my baby need a pops that's getting money on a daily.
I ain't no drug dealer, so I ain't getting money on the daily, ma'am.
Thank God she admitted that herself. On the other hand, Miles tells the court that he cannot wait to sort this out, as it is slowly crippling his relationship with his ex-fiancée, who is at the court. In fact, Judge Lauren calls her out to the podium to give her own testimony.
Please explain how this has affected you and your relationship.
Well, it's been hard. It's hurtful. She's a homewrecker.
I could never be a homewrecker
Yes,
when your
you
home
are.
was already
You knew
wrecked.
about me.
Your
You
home was
knew
already
I-
wrecked.
but
when
you
he
knew
was-
about me.
He was buying my ice cream though.
You knew about
No,
me.
I did not.
You knew about me.
No, I did not know
You
nothing about you. He
disrespected
just said that
another
wasn't
woman. If
together.
you want-
If Miles was so sure the baby wasn't his, why did he lie to his fiancée? Anyway, let's move on to the money White is suing Flowers for, the sum of $1,846.54. What's that about?
Do you have receipts for any of the items you've purchased on Major's behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see those, please?
Sure.
What do these receipts reflect?
Basically everything I bought for my baby before he came into the world.
So these are receipts for crib, playpen, stroller, clothing.
Yes.
Ms. White, so you're suing for $1,846.
Well, that's settled, but it seems White's money claim isn't the only thing depending on the case's outcome. Apparently, Miles's fiancée claims the DNA result would determine whether she would proceed with the wedding. At this point, we have to know what the results say.
It has been determined by this court. His father is Mr. Flowers.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, you're right.
I knew
Thank
that.
you, Jesus.
I already knew that.
That's cool.
Ms. Whitfield and Mr. Miles, I know you are relieved.
Big relief.